And he said he's dressed kind of strange. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he's got his hair slicked back like they used to wear it in the 50s, you know. I said, you mean like a ducktail, that kind of? He said, yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. And he said, he's got a white t-shirt on, a cigarette pack rolled up in it like that. Y'all remember? Some that will. Maybe one or two of you remember. And he said he's wearing tight blue jeans and he's got on those black boots. And then he laughed. He said, you know, like when you used to put those taps on, you walk down the street and make sparks when you walked, you know. Yeah, so y'all don't know that stuff. He said he tells me his name is Jeffrey, but we can call him Jeff Dean. Jeff Dean. He said, yeah, like he's waiting to be discovered, like James Dean. He's the new bad boy. Sees himself as that. Now that's when our medium laughed. He said, really and truly what I see him as a bellhop. He works right there. In fact, he said, I see him with a broom and he's sweeping up clippings from the barber shop, which was the second door right over there. He said, that's what I really see. But he wants to see us to see him as the bad boy. She's good. She's good. It's all right. It's fun. Now, he says there's also a woman as well. Her name is Mary. And she is much different. She likes the people of the building. She likes being here because of those people. They have parties, they have dances, and she enjoys that. And she stops and talks to the people. Jeffrey beats on the walls because they don't pay any attention to him. He wants them to pay attention to him. And she doesn't like Jeffrey because of it. You have to be invited to go in the building. There are people who live here now. It's not a hotel anymore. But we got an invitation. Some of the folks said, would y'all like to come inside? We'd love to take our medium in there. Are you kidding? We go inside, and we hadn't gotten any further than where the elevator is. And he said, Mary's around here right now. I'm going. He said, Mary's around here right now. He said, I can feel her presence. She must stay in this general vicinity near the elevator. About that time, y'all, the elevator opened. Now, if she had gotten off that elevator or something, I was leaving too. But it wasn't. But there was a woman who got out and she said, did you say Mary? Did I hear you say Mary? He said, yes, ma'am. Why? She said, well, actually, she's up on the 6th floor because I just left her. Now, there might have been a time when I was like, yeah, all right. But, you know, I've been doing this for a while. And I went, yes, ma'am, I understand. She said, oh, she comes to my room quite often and we talk. But I'm not the only one. She comes around. And we have talked to many of the residents of that. And they have described her completely. They see her, they talk to her. She's very nice. Yeah, that was Russell Erskine. I'm going to tell you all about that.
Okay, all right.
But that's what's going on. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Russell Erskine. Originally, it was started in 1928. Not a great time to start a hotel, you think? Especially one that was so elegant that it was rated to be one of the finest in the southeastern United States. There are Tiffany lamps still in there. Now, they renovated this some years ago. But, I mean, this was absolutely beautiful. There's a huge fountain, ballroom, and everything. Those 4 windows in the back there, that's where that is. You're going to walk by and you'll see some of it. But they ran out of money. They originally was going to name it the Joe Wheeler for, yes, General Joe Wheeler. But the city ran out of money and they were trying to figure out how we're going to finish this hotel. It's almost done. And somebody said, why don't we contact Russell Erskine. Albert Russell was his dad. Why don't we contact Russell Erskine and ask him to come down? We'll wine and dine him, and we'll tell him, hey, we're going to name this after you. Maybe he'll give us some money. That'd been great, except that Russell Erskine was the president of Studebaker, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't have a dime because they were in arrears and about to go bankrupt in that time frame. In fact, Russell Erskine committed suicide 2 days before his insurance policy lapsed so that his family would have money to live on. He's buried at Maple Hill in that mausoleum that's up at the top of the hill. That's where he's buried. They went ahead and built this. They went ahead and named it Russell Erskine, even though, of course, he didn't give any money. I'm going to move forward to 1939. 1939, we know right around the corner something's about to happen. There are 16 Sikorsky P-35 planes leave Michigan on a training mission. They were flying down to Tampa, Florida. Now in those days they didn't have GPS and things like that. If you flew, you kind of every once in a while look down at the ground to see if you picked up some kind of something you could remember in case you had to come back that way. And they flew over Huntsville. And at one time, across the top, in huge letters, was the name Russell Erskine. I'm talking about huge red letters. You could see them from all over. For whatever reason, the captain of that squadron cataloged that. They went on down toward Birmingham thinking that they were going to refuel there. They get to Birmingham, they can't land. There's a storm rolling in. Okay, we'll go to Montgomery. We know we can get to Montgomery. We'll be okay. They go to Montgomery, it's even worse. They can't even get to Montgomery. They turn around, go back to Birmingham, can't land there. He said, okay, we got one choice. We'll try to land in Huntsville. Hopefully we'll make it if I can find that sign. They're rolling through the clouds, bad storm, it's dark. But he drops down below the clouds and he sees the Russell Erskine sign. So now they're circling Huntsville, Alabama. It's dark, it's night. We did have I use the term loosely, airport. We had a runway in 1939. You know where Mayfair is? Right across from where Huntsville High School is? Grass runway. No lights. State trooper happens to hear the planes, looks up, and he sees round and around. He goes down to WBHB radio, gets the jock to get on the air and say, anybody with a car, come down to the airport, I use that term loosely, line the runways and turn your lights on. You've seen it done in the movies. You saw it done when, what's his name, Charles Lindbergh landed in Paris, right? Well, they did it right here in Huntsville, Alabama in 1939. They landed all 18 planes right there. And then all of those pilots spent the night in the Russell Erskine. A little bit of history. We'll move on.